Hi, I'm Neil Cannon, best-selling author of The Vitality Secret. If you're between the ages of 18 and 98, and if you're a man or indeed a woman, then I have a really important message for you. I'm going to be sharing with you why conditions like eczema and asthma, psoriasis, IBS, Crohn's disease, even food and animal allergies and acne are all conditions that can be considered a gift. That's right, I'm going to be sharing with you why those conditions can be considered a gift. You're probably thinking this is a pretty wide audience. Why am I choosing such a wide audience? It actually goes against marketing principle 101 of market to everyone and talk to no one. So I'm going to take a little risk here because I need everyone to listen to this. I have such an important message that I want many people to listen to this message. So you're probably thinking who I am, why should you give up any more of your time listening to me? So I've written this book, which is The Vitality Secret. Don't go look at it now. It's really about an underlying health condition which is behind these illnesses that I've just mentioned. And the reason I wrote this book is down to my father actually being diagnosed with this condition many years ago. And it became chronic, and then that led to high blood pressure and then a stroke. All of those could have been avoided had his doctor offered him the right nutritional advice or any nutritional advice. Please do not let this happen to you. He was diagnosed with chronic inflammation. This is like a fire that's raging inside your body. Simply put, it's your body's defense mechanism to what it perceives as an attack on it. It's a very healthy mechanism. Unfortunately, when it becomes chronic, it leads to almost every chronic disease there is, including type 2 diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, including heart attacks and strokes, metabolic syndrome. These are all really serious illnesses, which are an effect of chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is basically the building blocks for those chronic diseases. And those chronic diseases can't develop without chronic inflammation in place. So why do you think I'm suggesting that conditions like eczema and asthma and psoriasis, etc., are a gift? Well, simply put, it's your body's way of saying, hey Neil, what you're currently doing isn't working, and unless you change what you're doing right now, you stand a really strong chance of developing chronic inflammation, which then leads to chronic diseases down the road. I hope you're starting to understand what I'm on about here, because this is a new way of looking at these conditions, which is very separate to what we're told when we go to the doctors. I don't want to disrespect doctors because they are, they're in the profession for an incredible reason. They're here to help people get their lives better and save lives, etc. Phenomenal. Sadly, they are not trained in nutrition. This is a fact. This isn't just me trying to be a conspiracy theorist. This is a cold, hard fact. Doctors are not trained in nutrition. They receive about a matter of hours in a 6-year period. So why is this a problem? Well, these conditions can all be reversed. They can be managed or reversed or even cured, but I've got to be very careful by using the word cure. They can certainly be reversed and managed by changing what you eat, how you move your body, and also by changing your psychology. This is the really fascinating part. Along with my father being diagnosed with this condition, which led to high blood pressure, then a stroke, which could have all been avoided, I discovered whilst researching this condition that the eczema from which I had suffered my entire life is an inflammatory condition. It's an inflammatory disease. Now, when I used to go to the doctors as a child, they would give me all these creams, these horrific creams, some of which were steroid creams, which heal the skin very quickly, but they really harm your skin in the process. And I've actually lost pigment in various parts of my skin. I'd walk up to the camera now, but I'm not going to. And I can show you where I've lost pigment in my skin. So they're very effective short term, but they damage the skin. And the moisturizers I was given, just horrific. You look at the ingredients of those things, so bad for your skin. Your skin is the largest organ on the body, and it's also the first indicator that there is something going on underneath the surface. There is an indication that you have a lack of balance in your body. We are not told that when we go to the doctors. We are told, take this pill or take this cream and cover up the symptom. Let's not look at the cause at all. I can't remember once a doctor saying to me, run me through your diet. Run me through what you're eating, breakfast through to dinner. Run me through, how much stress do you have in your life? How are you dealing with your stress? Have you considered this method, this method, this method? How much are you moving? How much are you de-stressing? There's lots of things that you can do to actually manage conditions such as eczema, which have nothing to do with drugs or creams. So, alongside researching this condition, which led to my father having this stroke, I discovered that I was suffering from the same condition, although I'd unwittingly actually healed myself over the last couple of years when I discovered that some of the things that I was eating every day were causing this inflammatory effect in my body. There are some things that we eat every single day as part of the standard American diet or standard Western diet, which we believe are healthy. We consider them to be healthy because that's what we know. That's how we've been trained to think. One example is the modern wheat grain. Hybridized wheat is actually a mutated wheat grain. It's actually very, very different compared with the original grain some 10,000 years ago. It has been through a process called mutagenesis, where 14 added proteins have been added to it. And the idea is to yield more in less time, to make more money for the agricultural industry. And of course, these have a very, very long shelf life. So the manufacturers and food companies can keep them on the shelves for a long time, months, if not years, and they still make a decent profit. Sadly, that's not very good for our health. So the modern wheat grain is really inflammatory. For the most part, about 2/3 of the population will be intolerant to wheat, but they won't know about it unless something really bad happens. Now, the other one I want to talk about is dairy, more specifically, milk. Now, there is a slight clue as to why milk is inflammatory. The clue comes in the fact that it's designed for baby cows to grow fast. That's really all we need to know. I saw this interview not so long ago, a few years ago, with this this pioneer in human health. Let's just call him that. And the interviewer said, "So what's your view on dairy?" And he kind of chuckled and said, "Where do I start?" He said, "Put it this way. Human being breast milk is specifically designed for baby human beings to grow fast, to give them that massive boost in life, to give them the right nutrients, the right micronutrients, macronutrients, amino acids, hormones. Similarly, baby cows are given cow breast milk, udder milk, very different. By the way, that's an udder, and that's a human breast. They are given udder milk to give them the right boost in life, the right nutrients, micronutrients, macronutrients, proteins, amino acids, hormones, for these baby cows to grow fast, which, by the way, look absolutely nothing like baby human beings. In case you forgot what a cow looks like, here's a cow, and here's a human baby. Cow, human baby. Now I could talk for another hour on the effects of milk on your system. I'm not going to. I'm just going to ask you to just ask the question, am I a baby cow? If not, maybe don't drink milk anymore. And I just want to suggest that there are lots of alternatives like almond milk and coconut milk, even rice milk, way better for you. And there are many, many better sources of calcium, such as all the greens, the vegetables, which are very high in calcium, like broccoli, for example, and chard. Way better sources of calcium for your body, which are more bioavailable. Now, there are more things that cause this toxic effect in the body. There are more things that we eat almost every day which cause inflammation in the body. Those are just two staple foods. I've created a program to help you become more aware of all these things in the environment which cause a toxic effect in the body. Simply put, they're like alien invaders. And when they come in consistently every day into your body, whether it's in the food supply or air supply or even the water supply, we need to eliminate them, or at least reduce them substantially, to give our body what it needs to repair and to fuel the cells, which none of us are really doing. We're not really thinking about the nutrient capacity of foods to fuel your cells, boost the immune system. There's so many things we need to do to not only get rid of this inflammatory effect of the body, in the body, which is like a fire raging inside you. We need to actually know how to boost the immune system. Simply put, diseases like cancer cannot grow in a healthy immune system. This is huge. They actually grow. We grow them in our body by creating an environment which is perfect for the likes of cancer to grow. There are lots of ways to actually clean the body and create the environment for it not to grow. And all of us have cancer cells in us. It's just a question of whether they are fed and whether they grow and metastasize, etc., depending on the environment in which we build in our body. And one of those environments is inflammation. There are more. So I have created a program called the Inflammation Solution. You'll learn some of the best methods to get rid of inflammation right at the core. When you get rid of these conditions right at the core, you can clear up these conditions like eczema and asthma and psoriasis and Crohn's disease and IBS. We just need to change our approach to food and our kind of associations we have with various food, so you can actually get rid of this inflammatory effect in the body, and this program shows you exactly how. Now, it's not just that. I have actually incorporated some really cool psychology techniques. Believe it or not, the mechanics of what I'm about to teach you are fairly straightforward. The psychology is the most fascinating part, and this counts for around 80% of success in this. This is going to determine whether you stay committed. It's going to determine why you want to do this. It's going to give you reason. It's going to give you all the inspiration you need to stay committed and get rid of this toxic effect in your body and how to create a clean body. The psychology part is fascinating. For example, eczema. It can be pleasurable. It's addictive. It can become habitual. I used to wake up in the morning and start scratching whether I was itchy or not. It's the first thing I do when I get stressed. I've got to be careful how I use that word these days. It's really overused. There are ways that we can reframe stress and really figure out how to hone in on what it really is. But I used to scratch without even knowing it. There was actually one occasion at university when a friend of mine called Mark, he was sat back to the right of me, and he goes, "Neil." I turned around and he goes, and he just started mocking the fact that I was scratching. I had no idea. I was just sitting there in class, just scratching away. I had no idea I was doing it. It was an unconscious thing I was doing. Naturally, everyone else just started cracking up around us. I did as well. I was more taken aback by the audacity of this approach, and I've never forgotten it since. This is about 17 years ago this happened, and it just really made me think at the time, wow, I'm doing this unconsciously. And there are other times, as a kid, I'd go to bed and I'd have these white gloves on, and the idea was that they would stop me scratching my hands and arms and legs, and over a few days I'd actually create holes in these gloves and I'd wake up bleeding. That's how bad the eczema was as a kid. And when I was kind of 18 through 23, 24, 25, when I was going through exams, got really bad, went all over my back. Never was I given any of the correct advice to heal it from the inside and out. So I have this program. It's superbly powerful. The results that other people have got through going through this program are just out of this world. And I'm so happy and grateful to have been able to create this program. One example is a client who he started just 6 weeks ago. And in 6 weeks, he's burnt 30 pounds of fat. His arthritis has gone and his energy has gone through the roof. I've helped another client balance her cholesterol levels. Her high blood pressure is reduced. She's burnt 45 pounds of fat. By the way, burning fat is an effect of getting rid of inflammation. It's really cleaning out the body so your body can actually ditch it effortlessly. Someone else who got rid of their arthritis very quickly. I'm going to read these out to you so you can decide for yourself how powerful this program can be for you. This is one of my clients called Mark Rayworth. So for me, it's been the start of week 4 of the Inflammation Solution under Neil Cannon. My body has been, I'm going to blank that out because I don't want to give my secrets away, around 2.5 weeks, and I've lost just under 2 stone. Basically, fat is my energy source for fuel. If I get hungry, it is never for long as my body dips into my fat reserves, and trust me, there has been plenty. One of the most important exercises I was asked to do when starting this course was called, and I had to write down, I'm giving you little teasers of what this is going to be involving. So he said, it sounds a lot, right? But it was surprising how much stuff we keep locked down in our subconscious minds, which consequently talk to our conscious mind, and in my view, creates our reality. I couldn't read the list again until recently. It really brought things into perspective for me. A shift of sorts. I've done many diets over my yo-yo life as regards to my weight, and not once have I tackled the psychological aspect of myself while doing it. Those that know me will know that I'm not one for plugging people, but we should support the shining stars out there whom are dedicating their lives and sharing cutting-edge information in regards to nutrition and powerful natural cures. Mr. Neil Cannon, take a bow, and I hope this inspires others to follow what I have done. This guy has been a star student, should we say, and I'm so happy that he's shared this stuff. He's shared other stuff as well that you can check out. His arthritis is gone, and his energy has gone through the roof, and you can find all this stuff on my Facebook page. This is a client called Vishali, one of my first coaching clients actually. I'm so glad I met Neil. He also became my health motivational support coach, a key force in my physical weight loss, health transformation, providing selfless counseling beyond call of duty and encouragement, inspiration when I was on the verge of throwing in the towel. He is a very hardworking, intelligent, driven, resourceful, passionate person, athlete, and will always be my friend, and I'm grateful that he is the only one that figured out how to enable me to push myself to figure out my own way and drive through to finally lose and keep off weight. Thank you. So in addition to that, she, on my book, in fact, I have another testimonial. As my health coach, Neil helped me reverse pre-diabetes, reduce inflammation and high blood pressure, normalize unhealthy cholesterol levels, and lose 40 pounds of fat. I have more energy and my mood fluctuations have eased a lot. Thank you, Neil. Then I have one from a guy called Lee John. Just a quick update, Neil Cannon. I mentioned in my last post, diabetes has been a major problem running alongside my partner's Parkinson's disease. Her sugar levels were always high, 18 to 20 UK count. We have been on the keto diet for a few weeks now, and I'm pleased to say my partner's sugar levels have dropped considerably, between 5 to 8, a few lows. We talked with our diabetes consultant, nutritionist, nurse a few days ago. They were so impressed. She is having her insulin dropped as the levels balance. They told us to keep up this diet as their info never really helped. I thank you, sir, for your videos, your information. I'll report back to you in a month to let you know how it's going. A month later, he has said, this has had amazing results for Sue. Diabetes is very well controlled, normal blood sugar levels all this month. Still the odd low, which in turn is bringing Sue's insulin down even more. Sue's Parkinson's disease is so invisible sometimes now you can't even notice it. I've found if Sue's sugar levels stay between 6 to 8, her Parkinson's disease symptoms vanish. This still surprises me as I'm able to control Sue's PD symptoms with food, mainly small fat bombs, nuts and raisins, a little fruit. There are no cravings anymore. The diet keeps you full all day. There's no sacrificial element to this, by the way. You don't go starving. You don't think you're going to die because you're drinking soup all day. I can only say this change of diet lifestyle is really working well, feeling very positive at the moment, also feeling very much more active. Now our bodies are becoming fat burning machines, both losing weight and feeling great. Thank you. I mean, this is just incredible. This works, people, and I want you to get your hands on it. So I invite you now, take the plunge, take the giant leap of faith. If you trust what I'm saying, if you hear what I'm saying, if you understand that the drug industry is really not designed to treat your conditions at the core. If you understand you can heal your body, our body is designed to heal itself. It cannot heal itself if we take in all these toxins by way of drugs, toxic creams. It cannot do what it needs to do. And this program tells you exactly how to heal the body from the inside out. So hit the link below this video and I will see you